Let there be light, and there was light. Thank you for joining us. So, this is where we are talking about the scriptures, numerology, and we are looking at these two aspects of our language or numbers and words to really make sense of our understanding of the scriptures, how what meanings we have made of those words, and how those meanings have resonated within us, and how it serves us, and what can we do about those if we feel that they haven't really served us, or if we feel there's something more we need to do. So basically, numerology is the lens that really provides us a different aspect or different meaning to what we had before through the scriptures. Now, I say this because personally, I feel that through numerology, I have learned so much more, and I have so much more respect for the scriptures or the Holy Bible. And I was perhaps at the position where I thought, well, I'm not sure if I really want to continue exploring those beliefs and practices or concepts and so on. So there we are looking at death. Death is really the concept of all teachings or what or conditionings that has really created a lot of division, we could say, in our concept. Or could it be life itself, the opposite of death? So we are looking at life and death. Or we could also say, while I'm just thinking of life and death, it just brings to mind life, if I recall, is 5. Let's get a pen that writes. So LIFE, which is the first word. L is the first word or letter Mother Eve uses in her spell, which has a 24 value, numerical value. 2 plus 4 would be 6. Okay, so let's look at this. When Mother Eve says, let there be light, this is what we're talking about. The word let. Okay, the word let actually equals 10. Okay, so this is 3965. 3965. These are the numbers that really we are trying to get the full meaning of this 369 or 396 or however it comes. But this is so important. Now life here, this is 23. 2 plus 3. I've heard so much about 23 that it really makes me wonder how we seem to just see one aspect of a number or feel that it has only one meaning. Of course, it may seem like that in all particular or individual lives or in different concepts because we have given it a certain attention, and our attention is really key in how we reflect on something or what sense we make of it. So 2 plus 5 anyway, 2 plus 3 is 5. So life and death. So we have 5, DEATH. We are looking at death. Death is what I really want to look at, and a closer look. And of course, I'm going to try and make these short so we can have bite sizes. Okay, 2, 8. So here we are with it in the middle. Let's it in the middle. So this comes to 8. And of course, it is 8. And just as we say, the word it, IT, also sounds like EAT. And of course, there's still a relationship between the two. But let's look at EAT. EAT, as I say, we have this, it equals 8. or ate. So that's the thing that Mother Eve ate, or Adam and Eve ate of the fruit. The fruit, Fruit. And of course, Mother Eve, it is said she saw it was good. The word good equals 5. The word good equals 5. So it's the fruit was good. There are two aspects of this. This is 9 UIT, 9 2. FRUIT. That's correct. So this is 3 9s 27, 28, 29. So 2 plus 9 is 11. So this is interesting here because we have 5 plus 11, which is 2, and that equals 7. So this tells us, just in short, that the fruit, just trying to ensure I'm trying to make sense of where I got my 5 from actually. The fruit is 11, which is 2, and okay, she saw it was good. Yes, this is good. So the fruit was good. Good fruit. That's what we could say. So the good fruit here is, adding this together equals 7. 7, SEVEN, as we continue to note, has Mother Eve in the middle. So we see two very profound functions here. We see Mother Eve, which is that which is before any event takes place, is in the middle. And of course, Mother Eve ate. And they both are of 3 letters. So this is the said God. The said God equals 6. SAID. And of course, it'd be interesting to add this. This is 5 plus 8 would be 13. So 13, this is where we are talking about death. I'm just doing this intuitively now. So basically this, I continue to say, and I will say that no matter what I'm teaching here, or what we are following from anything or anyone tells us, intuition is key. Into your intuition to understanding what is being conveyed here might show you something slightly different, but that is important and pertains to your journey. So it is so important that we pay attention to our intuition. And this is what is happening here, because that's what Mother Eve is showing us. So we see that 7, as we say, because Eve is equals 14. 1 plus 4, in case you didn't know how I got this, 1 plus 4 is 5. And 5 plus 8 is 13. Now the word death, let's see what death equals altogether. I believe is 20. So this is 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 12 is 3, because adding the 2 digits together gives us 3. So 3 plus 8 is 11. So there we are back to 11. Let's just take off the good. Let's create some space. So the good fruit is, let's just have good fruit is 7. Good fruit. FRUIT. Okay. Because Mother Eve saw it was good. So this is 5 and this was 11. Okay. And adding this together gives us 7. 7 is also, so this is another thing. We have 1 here. We have seen this is 5 and 5 here. Adding this together, this is 1 plus 5 is 6. So this would be 11 or 20. If we added single digits, it would be 20. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, and we have the same for here. Adding this 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 is really that, so we can see within death, in death, and the good fruit brings about 13. And 13 is the death card here of the Rider-Waite tarot deck. So we have in the middle of the word death, we have it. And that is the number 13 here. Quite of course we can see the strong correlation here. Now not only that, we know this deck contains 78 cards, and we have seen that the letters of the gods, all the letters that have been used to create the vibration of their expression numbers equals 78. Okay. Now, if we add this together, this is 3 plus 8. Let's do 3 plus 8 now, just to get the total here. 3 plus 8 would be 11. 11 here. So 1 plus 1 would be 2. So this is death. If we added all this together, this would be 10. This would be 20. So we would have 2 or 20. Now I have done this as well to show that the word rock, when Christ said to Peter, upon this rock I will build my church, that's in the New Testament, we see that the word rock is 20. And also for the knowledge that we have, when a seed is planted and it dies, or it goes through, it's in the ground, goes through what we call the dying, or it dies in the ground to go through this new renewal cycle, we call it death. And that also in the south, the word south, for instance, of north, south, east and west, we don't plant in the north or the east or west, we plant in the south, and that also equals 20. Now, there were other words, many other words that I came across that also equals 20, but I'll just leave this here for now. So what we want to see, to show now as well, there is something, we had this correlation with good and fruit, the good fruit. So Christ actually had, in the gospel was the good news. And the word news, of course, is 7. The good news actually equals 7. Let's see, NEWS, yeah, and because that's the center of the, so the good news, 5, 10, 15, 16, 1 plus 6 is 7. So this would be 12. So that's another correlation we are making right here, or connection we are making with Mother Eve, with Mother Eve's spell when she says, let there be light. That equals 12. So we can see that Christ was about the good news. Okay, just let's keep this here. Let's look at 13. We are looking at 13 as well because of course, as I read, when Mother Eve said, let there be light, and there was light, and on the 8th it's like, let us make man in our image after our likeness. And it is said, and God made man in his own image after in his own image. In the image of God created he him, and he them. So there are 2 he's in there, which would denote 2 gods or 2 sides or 2 whatever it was, because he created he him, he created he them, in his own image he created he. And it sounds quite confusing, but I have really examined this, and to see that the he aspect there, which is often referred to God in the scriptures, has a numerical value, just as 8 and 5 that we added hair, 8 plus 5. We added the 8 hair and the 5 of Mother Eve, because Mother Eve ate of the fruit, ate, that's past tense. So Eve ate of the fruit, and the fruit, of course, we see is 11. That would mean, of course, 11, as I say, it's an execution. Eating of the fruit in itself having this 11, because it has a seed in it to bring forth after its kind. That is a 911. So we want to look at life and death as well. We already see life and death also equals 7. Likewise, good and the good fruit equals 7. So basically, perhaps we could conclude here that life and good is really one and the same, and fruit and death is really one and the same, because the fruit, or which has its seed in it, if you were to throw it in the ground, of course that flesh would die and the seed would bring forth after its kind, meaning it would grow. So basically, this 20 hair would go in the south. The 2 seeds, usually 2 seeds go into the ground. And of course, we have the fruit hair, which has the same numerical vibration. When we add these two together, this is where I'm now reminded to say, like Emmett Fox would say, nothing, he says nothing comes into your consciousness unless it finds something like itself on which to attach itself to, meaning the ground itself has a degree of consciousness to really have the same relationship with the seed that is being put in the ground. So the two have the same vibration or relation, so they can grow. And of course, the two together brings about 4 if we just add it like this. But this is the incubation. This is what I call the incubator, 8 plus 5. And this is what it was for Christ at the table with the 12 disciples. So this would be the Last Supper. This is why it's called the Last Supper. The Last Supper meaning that it's an end, or it's something is coming to an end right here, and there would be a new phase of a new beginning. So 4, of course, this is again that they came into agreement when Christ said to the disciples, Jesus said to the disciples, every time you break bread, you break off the bread, do this in remembrance of me. I have done some presentations on that. For the word break, let's just see, BREAK. This is 10, 17, 18, 19. So 1 plus 9 is 10, meaning 10, of course, the numerical value for 10 is 12. This is what we are saying, and 12 is free. So this free is always like Mother Eve's first letter. So although it is 10, but it has the numerical value or the vibration as this L here, which has free to propel a newness of life. Hence, on the cross, Jesus had 2 thieves. He was in the middle, or in the middle of 2 thieves, or 2 thieves on either side of him. So basically, we can see this is what 3 is about. It brings about, it propels a newness. It propels or gets into the direction of where newness is meant to come. So I'm hoping that you understand this. We are seeing the getting to understand 13, but there is so much more to 13, and we can see talking about the number 3 here. It's as if death in itself is giving us a lot of information, because 4 plus 8 is 12 and 1 plus 2 is 3. So we can see again, it's like in the middle of death or whatever it is. The three is on either side. It's as if there is it's able to hinge on either side of death in this sense to really propel things into a new direction. So let's look at death a little bit closer so we can understand that the scriptures, when it speaks of Christ having this crucifixion or for all to save mankind, this story is being conveyed in a way to teach us how to die of ourselves and to see the cycles of life in our makeup. And if we pay attention, we will be able to see where we have died or have the rebirth or newness, or even whether it was every 8 year in our lifespan when we reflect, or whether it was every 2 years or whatever it is, we would see that how life plays out in our makeup. And as well as I say, the number 23, I'm going to do a presentation on that. Thank you for watching, and do join me again because we have much more to do with the word death and die. Okay. Let there be light, and there was light.